Test test 1 2 3. We'll be starting here shortly. Another live stream, quick update. Alrighty, good evening. Welcome back to City Valley Fishing Field Team, COAF Field Team on YouTube. And this round, got a little quick updates. Excuse me. From today's fishing trip over at Bethany Lakes. Started out the very chilly morning and a slow start and trying to figure out what the bite was. But luckily, we got some heads up from other folks that did really well too. So we'll go get a follow-on video of today's action at a later date, probably tomorrow. But for now, I just want to give you some updates as to what worked for us, and then also a few inputs from other folks that worked for them as well. So let's go and switch over to right here. These are dry fly midges. This is what worked in the afternoon, or actually about mid-morning for yours truly. And then there's another view of it. It's a very simple dry fly, size 16 hook, little grizzly hackle, some pheasant tail, tail for the tail, and then black thread, Dacron thread for the body, and tie it really quickly. And this was working. Fish it slow, fish it fast, let it sit. They were hitting it at least about 10 till about noon, and then I left. Came back later in the evening, and they were all over the place again, feeding on something, and couldn't get them to bite on this. So pattern changed again. But that said, in the morning, well, here, let's go and shift over to some inputs that we got from some other folks from earlier today. In this case, someone went out with their 12-year-old son and was able to limit out, and they used the same clear float with a 20-inch leader on a trout worm and used some trout nibbles in orange. And it looked like they did really well. I started out with the bubble fly rig right here. Switch back. Right here, I started out with this baby, and had the bubble fly, about 20-inch leader or line, and then I had a Griffiths net, COF Griffiths net, and then later on that dry fly midge deal, and that worked very well. But unfortunately, my reel broke, the bail, so I kind of got it rigged now to do a manual return. Anyways. Okay, so we got that one back in action. So the bubble fly rig was working for one individual, but oh, by the way, did get word from another individual that let's see, let me switch over here. This is from our comments on YouTube. They were tearing up a gold spinner black and red Pistol Pete torpedo bubble rigged this morning. Lots of surface action. Also, individual had a Tenkara rod and tried an elk hair caddis, but it looked like it was some salt false takes. But bottom line, another torpedo bubble rigged or bubble fly rig, in this case with a gold spinner black and red Pistol Pete. Well, guess what? We tried the Pistol Pete also, and at least this evening, and didn't do so well, but had the little propeller with the silver blade. So things again change on you. So, oh, by the way, just be able to switch your lures, your flies, and adjust. In this case, they were hitting on the surface or just under the surface, and what worked for yours truly was, well, this rubber-legged near deer in the morning. Let's see if I can find that one. Ooh, right, here we go. It's kind of beat up right here. All right, let me go shift back again. All right, this is the rubber-legged near deer. As you can see, it's all torn up now. So basically, it's a near deer where I added rubber legs to it. Okay, and they were initially just kind of hitting it as it was sitting still, and then later on, this little twitchy move was the key to get them to strike. And so, on our follow-up video, you'll see how I was doing the presentation for that one. So that's what was able to get a limit in the morning. And then come, mid-morning, around 10 to about noon, you'll truly decide to do some catch and release. So I shifted over to the dry fly, midge, as well as Griffith's net. So let me go back to that one real quick. So right there, this was the one that was working. Used the strike indicator about 2 foot from there, as well as without the strike indicator. So that was working for us. And here's another view of it again. Right here, nice grizzly hackle. Right there's another view. Okay, and this is where I fished on in the morning. This was the morning time frame. Very chilly morning. Luckily I dressed warm and had to make some adjustments because it was very clobbered with all the trees and whatnot, but luckily I was able to get some strikes here and actually limit out here. And then excuse me, and then working the other side of the horseshoe pond, I was able to play around and do some catch and release with this guy. And here's this, you can see right here, that black dry fly midge, but I was fishing it wet. And I was using Carmex to initially get it to float, and then after a while it would just sink again. So hey, it was working for us. Let's see. Here's one that went for the olive near deer with the rubber legs. That was our morning one. And this one was just sitting there, no movement on the line or anything, and it took. But then later on they just wanted movement. And here's another one that went for, I got a little cat that wants to bother with me right now. Okay, anyways, here's one where the olive near deer, later on we were doing some catch and release in the afternoon. So they hit this one, and then we switched over to the black midge dry fly deal. And there it is again. So, all right, so do stay tuned. We'll definitely get some follow-up video from today's action. And the key takeaways from that is watch how I'm changing the pattern, or adjusting to the flies, as well as lures, and then adjusting the retrieve to see what worked. And then also do note that there was a lot of surface activity on the surface, and well, in some cases I had them, in other cases I didn't. I think I would have had more if that bubble fly or that spinning reel didn't break on me. I also did have several trout follow a super duper, a silver super duper, as well as the firetail rooster tail. Just didn't really want to commit. They would just look at it, follow it, turn away. But as soon as I switched over to that olive near deer rubber legs and found the retrieve, well, at that point, I'm able to get a limit. All right, all for now, and do stop by and check again when we get the other video, a follow-up video to our trip to Bethany Lakes today. All right, next time we'll catch y'all later, and good luck and good fishing.